My name is Russell Shoemaker. I sold technology to the world, back when there was technology, and people to sell it to. That night defending Marla and Jason from the pack was a big turning point in my life. My whole mindset shifted from how to stay alive to how to live. I decided right then I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill a man, even if my own life depended on it.
I'm coming in, you know that.
A weird sort of calm washed over me. All my fear, all my anxiety, gone. Can't explain it, but I actually felt at ease. To this day, I don't know if I was simply resigned to dying or somehow prescient of the outcome. Lucky for us, Delandre had switched to the night shift and saw my flare. But what should have brought me and her closer together was actually driving us apart.
Just because that lady and her kid survived doesn't mean your family did.
Much as I tried, I knew I didn't belong in New York. If my family was alive, I had to learn how to protect them.
You think it's rough in the city? I hear it's 10 times worse out there.
The pack turned out to be nothing more than two teenagers. Too old to admit they were scared like the rest of us, too proud to ask for help. That's how it was after the fall. Imaginations ran wild, molehills became mountains. I wasn't gonna let fear of the unknown stop me. I just couldn't.
You'll never make it, Russ.
I knew she could be right, but if I didn't try, I'd already failed. Delandre said she'd miss my smile and my curiosity.
Won't miss worrying about you, though.
Truth was, I was worried about her. I knew at some point soon everybody in the city would arm themselves. Pandora's box had been opened. I hope this bonsai brings you peace and harmony. 3,000 miles to Seattle. It was crazy, insane, but it was necessary. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, what hardships lay ahead, but honestly, I didn't care. I was going home. I was going home. What do they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Well, my plans didn't just go astray, they went completely south. When I left New York, I convinced myself Janelle and Kizzy could still be alive. That hope got me on the road. Didn't take long, though, for reality to kick in. Route 80 was the straightest shot, so I charted a course heading due west. Calculated it would take about 5 months, going 20 miles a day. Scrapped that plan the very first day. After relying so much on Delandre, I wanted to be self-sufficient, not dependent on others. Figured I'd just live off the land. I was totally unprepared for life on the road. Hadn't even been camping since Cub Scouts, and there I was, reduced to a hunter-gatherer, constantly forced to adapt. At work, I was pretty good at spitballing, making new ideas on the fly. Same process kept my plans evolving, only there was more at stake now. Failure didn't mean losing a job. It meant possibly losing your life.
Hey, you half-pint, you like rabbit?
His name was Elijah, but
Call me Eli.
he said he was my guardian angel. He wasn't like other survivors. Real odd duck, no fear, no desperation. To him, this was all just another day at the office. Said his own fall came years earlier, back in '99. Been living on the streets ever since. When Eli found me on the embankment, I was bleeding to death. That's why half-pint. Said that was about all the blood I had left in me. He never traveled the highways. Said they reminded him of the past.
We need to focus on the future. Make new roads, new towns, a new way of life. Hopefully a better one.
Eli had lots of advice, but honestly, I didn't understand him half the time. Made me wonder about his sanity. I tried so hard to become self-sufficient, but the truth was, I'd become dependent on a man I knew nothing about. And I was completely at his mercy. Fear was responsible for the fall. That's what Eli believed. Fear breeds ignorance, which leads to violence, and then more fear.
I'm telling you, it's a vicious cycle.
Which was why he was so mad when he found the gun in my backpack.
I'm sure you'll need this, Russ.
I appreciated DeLandre's concern, but Eli said guns erode the basic trust people have for one another. And without trust,
We got nothing.
I realized life is how you see it. Being a cop, DeLandre's job was to suspect everybody. But Eli, living on the streets, his survival depended on the kindness of strangers. Do you trust people or not? That was the dividing line. When I asked how I could repay him, Eli made me promise to help people out any way I could, no matter what. Just like he'd done for me.
We're all in this together, Half-Pint. For better, for worse.
He didn't ask me to get rid of the gun, but I decided to trust Eli, that it would only bring me trouble. It was a decision I'd second-guess a number of times on my way home. We came all the way to Philly so Eli could pick up something important. Tony's saltwater taffy.
Best taffy on the eastern seaboard.
At one point, I turned to ask him where the candy store was, but he was gone. Wouldn't be the last time I crossed paths with old Eli. Considering I was already in Philly, I decided I'd pick up something myself at the Homeland Security office. Unfortunately, I had no idea where it was.
Dude, is that sick or what?
According to Timothy, somebody opened up the city zoo right after the fall. Gave the animals a fighting chance. He said the streets weren't safe, especially at night, when animals hunt. Timothy worked as a scout for a group of survivors banded together in an old church. He said there used to be about 50 of them, but most had moved on when supplies started dwindling, out to the suburbs and the shopping malls. They didn't want me spending the night, said it could be dangerous. Without trust, we got nothing. So Timothy gave me directions and I made my way to my next stop. Part of me didn't want the truth. Whatever trust I had in people, I was hoping to hold on to it. The evidence sent a chill up my spine. Was it possible the third most powerful man in the country was a terrorist?